Hello everyone. I recently got my baleno updated to the latest version of the Maruti Suzuki infotainment system, which now has Android Auto enabled in it. So earlier it had only Apple CarPlay system. So now it also supports Android phones via the Android Auto interface. So let's go ahead and have a look at it. Hello everyone. I'm in the Maruti Authorized Service Center here, and I'm getting my baleno updated to the latest version, which should support Android Auto. So I have got a message from the service center, and I have come here to Bimal Motors to get my software updated. And as you can see, software is getting updated. So once the update is done, I'll do end up video of how the system behaves after the update. Thank you. Alright, so I have my system updated here, and I have gone into the smartphone link interface here. So as you can see, it's asking for me to connect a smartphone. So this is my Samsung Note 5 here with the Nougat version. So I'll just connect it to the USB port that's provided here in the car. So the moment I connect it, it should automatically detect the phone and go into Android Auto mode. So as you can see here, this is detected and it's gone to Android Auto, and there's the screen. So I've already done the initial setup, so you have a couple of permissions to accept. So you have to accept all those permissions in order to access the Android Auto on your smart play infotainment system. So once you've done that, you have the interface for you over here. Okay, so now let me just walk you through briefly of how the system is performing and whether it's smooth or not. So one thing I can tell you right off the back is the system is quite smooth. Okay, it isn't laggy or anything, but the display that you see here is it's a little bit tiny. I wish it had been bigger, with these buttons being a little smaller or integrated with these buttons over here, but yeah, these are very big space, and they are eating up into the display space here. So of course you have all the indications about your battery status, what network you're connected to, voice, etc. And the scrolling is quite smooth. So this is your home default page, and some things work here like navigation stuff, some don't work. So if you click on weather, it just doesn't take you anywhere, it's just there. But if you want to navigate anything, that takes you directly to the maps over there, and these are all your recent stuff. And there's of course your music player, you can play music from that. You must have Google Play installed, otherwise it won't work with this or any other Android Auto compatible music player. So if you have a Samsung music player, it may not work with that. So let's straight away go into the maps. This is the most useful part of the entire Android Auto system, I would say. So as you can see, the maps are quite fluid and they work on GPS navigation thing. Only thing is you can't pinch to zoom. You have to use these buttons here to zoom in and zoom out, but that's okay. It's not a deal breaker or anything. So it's amazing how smooth it is actually. Of course it's using your cell phone's network, so that you would have to keep in mind. And also you have certain categories here. So if you want traffic, I think it's better you leave the traffic enabled, because that's very useful feature, especially when you're driving in city traffic. It updates very nicely. So I mean, if you don't want it, you can uncheck it and you go back to a normal map. But yeah, of course, having Android Auto not having traffic, yeah, doesn't make sense. All right, so as you can see here, this is all live traffic updates. This is of course missing in the inbuilt navigation system, and it's a very useful feature over here. And you have your location spot here, so you can just tap here and you get your location out here. And I think it would have been nice if they'd given a pinch to zoom feature, but it's not there. You also have volume on and off, so you can type in the maps here, any kind of location, and then that will search for you. Yeah, and it will probably take you to that place. And I will do this via the voice controls, because that's more easier and safer also when you're driving. This should be only done when you're actually halted in a place, and then safe to do this operation. Okay, now what I'm going to do is use the controls on my steering wheel to show you how the voice controls would work. Okay, so all you need to do is you need to hold this voice command button here for some time, and then say your command here, and that will do the normal Google search for you. Let me do it again.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Okay, so I'll do this once more for you. Navigate to HSR layout.
No problem, HSR layout. Head east towards 3rd C Cross, then turn left onto 5th Cross Road.
So you see how easy it is to use the navigation with the voice command. So of course here it straight away started the navigation, and you can even look at the routes over here. I think it's not yet updated, so let me just recenter it here.
Head east towards 3rd C Cross, then turn left onto 5th Cross Road.
I think it should show you the route updates. Okay, that's okay, there it is. So you have destination show routes, right? So you can tap on that, and it's going to show you step-by-step route, or you can just go back here down and rely on the screen here. Of course, I feel that this is a bit too chunky here. The entire space could have been used to show it properly. Also, one more thing to note here is the Android Auto is actually showing me the touch interface to the left hand side. This is useful in a country like United States or any country which is having left hand side driving. But in a country like India, UK, it had to actually be on this side, on the right side of the screen. So because we are right hand drivers and we need all the interface here, but it's unfortunately on this side. It is actually a bit stretch. I mean, I will honestly say that you can't. When you're driving, it's really distracting to go all the way here. It would have been better if it was here for you. Alright, so we can do a couple of things also with this, with the voice commands. Let me tell it to make a call. Okay, call Airtel customer care.
On the website airtel.in, they say, as an Airtel customer, you have the convenience to access our 24-hour customer service center at 121.
Okay, that's not something that I wanted. Call Airtel.
There are 2 people with that name, Airtel Live Al or My Airtel.
My
Which one do
Airtel.
you want to call?
My Airtel.
Calling My Airtel mobile.
There you go. Picked it up quite fast. So you see, my phone just woke up.
This number is not valid. Please check the number you have dialed.
So your phone basically wakes up when you make a call. Okay. So you do have your touchpads here. So this is different. So Nobit has a different interface, and Lollipop has a different interface. I'll just minimize this. I can put stuff on hold here, probably I can then cut the call also. Okay, so you have your recent list also over here, recent list of contacts. Let's see what the menu has here. So the menu has, of course, the dial pad, call history, missed calls, etc. So the dial pad is pretty much again the same problem. It's towards the left hand side, and as a right hand side driver, I would prefer it to be here. In the older version, that is Android 5.0 versions, actually the dial pad is here, which is still convenient. This is not good actually. This is not good user design for right hand drivers. Anyways, that's how it is. So let's just go back, and yeah, of course, that's how the calls are made. And when you receive a call also, it's the same process. I mean, you use your call receive key and your hang up key here, right? So let's try something else now. Let's try to play the music. Play some music. I'll have to just mute it immediately because that will be YouTube copyright issues.
Asking to play music.
So I just paused it instantly because if the music plays, YouTube might take the video down. Alright, so that's how it works. So it seemingly goes there. Also, you can ask it to play specific songs, and that'll do it for you. Okay, so you also have radio. That's basically your internet radio, your playlists, etc. And this is how your music interface looks like. Also, let me quickly tell you one more thing. When you click on this, you actually have an option to select multiple players here, and it has VLC. So I thought it would play videos, but it doesn't play videos. Okay, so that doesn't work there. And of course, you have to have a compatible Android application here in order to play it. So TuneIn Radio is actually a good internet radio, so that's supported. So that's a nice thing. So another issue I have is the shuffle buttons are they could have been just placed anywhere here. You need to expand this menu to go and do the shuffle thing over here. It's actually painful because it doesn't work with any of the keys here. If you're playing one song, the song keeps repeating again and again and again for some reason. I don't know why that is. I hope they fix it in the next release, where they could just give a shuffle button here, or maybe use the mode here to shuffle it, but that doesn't seem to be happening here. Okay, so of course that's pretty much it about Android Auto that you get here. The most useful feature being the maps, because the call and everything music used to anyways work with your Bluetooth application, so that's not a big deal. The maps is the biggest advantage that you're getting with Android Auto. So I'll talk about the controls on your steering wheel now, and I will tell you what works and what doesn't work. So the first thing that works is obviously the volume button, so you can actually increase and reduce the volume there, and of course you can change the tracks. This changes the track, but like I said earlier, since there's no shuffle, if there is no shuffle, it will not change the track. It will be just looping around in the track. Okay, so that's the issue over there. And then there is this mute button. Of course, mute is to start and stop your song. It just basically pauses it. And then there is mode, which practically does nothing. If you go back to the normal interface, you would know that mode actually switches to FM radios and to your Bluetooth audio. That's actually a pretty neat feature that they could have used, but I don't know, for some reason they haven't given any kind of functionality to the mode feature there. So it would have been great if you could switch to music, or some other interface, or you can switch the root paths next or something using the mode or something. Something could have been figured out for the mode. I find that's wasted over there. So apart from that, it's just normal controls, because the most useful control is actually your voice here. This does pretty much everything for you. Okay, so this makes the calls. It basically helps you read texts, although send messages via WhatsApp. It does a lot of those cool things, which I will not go in depth about. So that's basically about your steering wheel controls, and what you can do with them with the Android Auto interface. Now I'll explain to you a scenario where I feel the mode button could have been better used. Okay, so let's say I'm basically driving somewhere and I decide to make a call, and usually I could make the voice call here. It'll go to the call screen, or let's say just press this button, for example. So this is the receive button. Once I do that, it goes to the call menu button, where it expects me to tap in and manually dial in the numbers, etc. So I could do that, let's assume, and then I want to see the navigation also. I can't do that. I mean, for that to work, I would have loved for the mode to cycle through. So if the mode could take me through maps, calls, and home and music, it would have been great. So now if I want to go back to the navigation screen, I need to go and press the screen again. So this is a big distraction, if you ask me. This is something actually that's annoying me. I was really excited to get Android Auto, but as I was using this driving, I really felt that this is more of a pain. It's more of a hindrance to you, and it becomes more meaningless, actually, if you ask me, because for everything I need to go and touch the screen, and none of these controls, or even the voice control, isn't very accurate most of the time, except for navigation and the calls. So it's basically taking your eyes off the road and towards the screen, which is very dangerous, and that's why I said it becomes meaningless. And what's the point of having this? It's supposed to enhance your driving experience and make it safer, but it's not doing that, right? And also, like I said, the interface is all towards the left hand side. They should have at least given an option for different countries to choose whether they wanted the right or the left, right? And there's so much of this wastage of space here, right? And there's hardly any settings that you can do also. I mean, these all should be configurable, and that's how Android Auto should feel, and that's not happening here. So that's my biggest problem with this. All right, so it makes me think, isn't Bluetooth just more than enough for you? So I could just connect the Bluetooth for the everything else, playing the music, voice calls, because that just does everything so much better, except for the navigation, for which I have to come back to the Android Auto. That is still fine. If you ask me, that is still fine. So navigation at least works. But then another thing I'm seeing is when you go back to home, navigation works, the audio works, but then I think it should come here somewhere, tell you, okay, this is how you're supposed to navigate and stuff. I think that's also missing, or probably I'll check that out once and update you whether that works, or probably I'll do a separate video just for the maps, how it works while driving, and does it really make your life easier while driving or not. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show you about this Android Auto update. So quickly I'll even show you the system update here. So I'll just press the settings here so that you know which version of Android Auto, which version of the SmartFlow info system I have that supports Android Auto. So software version. All right, so there it is. Let me just clearly focus on that. So this is the software version that was updated to my system, and this was done in the service center. I didn't do this manually. That's the software version, right? Okay, so I believe there's maybe further updates coming with all the fixes that with all the fixes to the issues that I was telling you. Maybe it's a phone update or it's infotainment update, something, but at least hopefully the updates will come. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you about. So thank you for watching the video. Hope to catch you next time.